Hello everyone, we are on week 4 of the C++ class. So I'm creating a new repo so I could do a demo of what we are going to cover today. So C++ demo week 4. Okay, so week 4, if you look at the agenda as to the schedule, the course schedule, we can see week 4 is all about control statements. If you have done Java or if you've done C Sharp, you will already be familiar with control statements. The only thing that we would care about is the syntax of that particular language and how different it's going to be. You can see the week's course content here. The control statements are going to be your while loop, for loop, break and continue statements. So there are two variations of the while loop and the do while loop. It's very similar to other languages we've seen, so that's a good thing. So in terms of the statements itself, the control statements itself, there isn't much of a difference in how we write them. So we will see a small example here. Here's a little prompt. We are going to loop through students and get their age, then we are going to calculate the average age and display at the end. So this is the intention of this program. So let's start with the one of the loops. So with regards to while loop versus for loop, I think it is a personal preference. You can use either loops. A for loop comes in handy if you know what is the terminating condition. A while loop is when, well, it's still the same. Both of them are very similar, so let me take that back. I think the only difference is in the for loop, you are establishing the starting point, the ending point, and what is your criteria to jump through the loop one more time. In the while loop, it is all over the place. That's the only thing I can see. Both of them are very similar in how the usage is. It comes down to a personal preference. To me, I like the for loops, and I use them every time. I never use the while or the do loop, do while. Okay, so let's see. So we have to loop through students and get their age. So how does first let's see how to write code to get the age of one student. So cout enter age of student. So this is a technique that you can use where you just write for one particular condition. Oh, now we won't get that error anymore. Okay, so we are going to prompt to for a student to enter the age, and then we are going to receive the input and then store it in a variable called age. We have not declared the variable, so let's go and declare the variable. I'm going to assume that they are entering whole numbers for age. So this is it, right? So this is how we would get the age of one student. Now we want to repeat this. We only want to repeat these two steps. We don't want to repeat declaring the integer age. Okay, but if you do that, that's going to give you errors. You only want to repeat what is necessary. You don't want to repeat unnecessary things. So these two guys have to go into a loop. So let us say there is a for loop, and then we gotta like put these two guys inside. Okay, now let's think about it. How many students are there that we care about? So let us say int I equal to 1, I less than 4, I plus plus. So now I am saying I start at 1, I get number 1, number 2, number 3. I should be less than 4, so it is for 3 students. And then I'm going to repeat the loop for every student, that's why I'm incrementing by 1. So what will happen now, we'll keep getting the age. Now I have to write logic to add the ages. So the age old way to do that is to say int total age equal to 0. So we declare a variable that is going to be the running total. So total age equal to total age plus age. So this is going to keep adding. It is a running total. So when you get the first age, let's say it's 18, you add it to total age, which is 0 plus 18. Let's see, how do I annotate? Right there. So when you have loop, the loop does one thing: get age, store to total. So these are the ones that are repeating. So when I equal to 1, what happens? I equal to 2, I equal to 3. When I is 1, total equal to 0. So total equal to 0. And then we come here, I is 1. So what we do, we take total equal to total plus age. Total has a content of 0. Let's say the age input is 18. So total becomes, now total is 18. I'm sorry about that. I kind of lost my recording app and I didn't know where it was. So that was the confusion all about. Okay, so we are on whiteboard. So total is 18. This time when we get the age as input, let's say we give 21. So now total will be equal to 18 plus 21. So that's why we call it as the running total. Okay, so on and so forth. So the age old logic for that is to put that we keep adding whatever is the input to this total age. So that way we can save the data. Now we have the total age. How do we find the average? So let's declare average. So it's not going to be an integer. Let's do it as a double, because average equal to total age divided by 3. See out average. So we can say here that's it. So what we see here is what is the format of the for loop. It is very similar to any other language, not much of a difference. It's just the content inside, there is a minor difference. Enter age of student. Let's say we say it's 18, first time. Wants to know the next age, 21, 23. So average student age comes to be 20 years old, because it added the 3 ages. Remember that it added the 3 ages and then divided it by 3. So this is the for loop. If you want to write the same thing, let's do a little bit differently for the while loop. So with student, what can we do? If we can, while we ask for student age, well, we did that part already. So we want to do something else with the student age. Maybe we'll do this. You will use the while. So this is the prompt. Ask So we could do this. So let's look at our prompt for the while loop. Ask students for their major, count how many are in programming major. So let us do it as a while. So we could use this as the control variable. What is this answer? Let's declare it. Okay, let's first decide on what the questions are going to be. So we are going to prompt for major. So let's get it as integer. 1 indicates programming, 2 indicates networking, and then 3 indicates other major. Okay, so when the answer is going to be -1, then you stop the loop. So this is how we are going to do. So we are going to prompt for a major, and then we are going to store answer. Okay, we are going to ask what is your major, and then take that answer and store it in a variable called answer. You're going to loop this till the answer comes as -1. So if they don't want to enter the value anymore, they are going to answer as -1. So we will say int answer equal to 0. 0 means nothing, while answer not equal to -1, the loop can proceed. So the terminating condition is going to be when answer equal to -1. So while the answer is not -1, we set it as 0, so it's all good. So we are going to prompt cout enter student major, and then we are going to say here 1 means programming, 2 is networking, 3 equal to others, 4 means exit loop. So that's what we are going to say, and then we are going to capture the answer in the variable called answer. Now we have to see every time the answer is 1, we are going to add it to a total. Okay, int total programming students. Again the same thing, just like how we did the total age, we are going to say total programming students equal to total programming students plus 1. And when will we do this? Only if the answer is 1. So if answer equal to 1, we'll do this. If answer equal to 1, we take the total programming students, add 1 to it. So we are counting how many programming students are there. If the answer is 2, answer is 3, we are skipping, we are not adding to our total. Okay, so now we want to know totally how many programming students are there. So you have to do this part outside the loop, just like how we did the average outside the loop, because this has to happen only once. Loop means it is going to happen multiple times. So we are going to say cout total number of programming students equal to and then we want to clear the buffer there. Now let's run the code. So both the programs, both the logic and the same one. So it's going to run through the top portion first and then run through the bottom portion. Okay. So enter age of student. So I'll say 18, 21, 24. Now enter student major. I'm going to say programming 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. 4 means, oh, I said 4, that's wrong. I gave the prompt incorrectly. So let me fix that. -1 means exit. Let's rerun the code. For now, let me comment this part so it doesn't confuse you. Let's comment the top portion. So we just do the second prompt. Run. Enter student major. I put 1, I put 1, I put 3, I put 2, I put 1. So it keeps on counting, but the moment I put -1, done. Okay, now let's see. I entered 1 3 times. So total number of programming students equal to 3. So here we use the while loop, not the for loop. We use the while loop, and then we are able to take care of this particular situation. So here it is more like this. There is no starting number, ending number, because we are not saying capture the answers of 10 students. We are leaving it open. So when we have these open kind of ended kind of scenarios, when things are open ended, and then we let the user tell us when to stop, that's a great example of how easy it is to do it with the while loop. In both these loops, if you look at this, if you want to exit the loop or skip the logic, you can use two statements, break and continue. Break will exit out of the loop and continue will skip logic. Okay, so there are valid situations where we may have to use it. So let's see. So let us see if we want to exit out of this loop, student age, right? So let us say that we want to exit out of this loop if the total reaches 100. If total age is equal to 100, we don't want to do calculation anymore. Okay, we want to get out of the loop. So when you add break, what happens is, right here, it doesn't matter how many times we added, it is going to jump to 18. It is going to stop the for loop and jump to line number 18. That is what a break is. A continue, on the other hand, what a continue would do is, a continue would skip the logic. For example, if somebody answers answer as 4, let's not even do that. I can't think of any good situation for continue here, but let me first run this through. First one, the break. So if the total age is equal to 100, it is going to stop. So let me give the age of student is 50. Second student is 50. Now it should ask me third time, but it won't. It is going to skip. So it skipped. It did not ask me the third time. The loop's supposed to run 3 times, but it didn't care to do that. It just skipped. Here I could say if answer equal to, maybe we can do it here. Okay, we could do it here. So if we could say like if age is equal to greater than 50. So for whatever reason we want to ignore, we want to only capture the student population, like high schoolers, maybe, maybe we want to only capture high schoolers. So if the age is going to be greater than 21, we want to skip the logic. What does that mean? It means that we don't want to do this. So let's move this here. I don't want to add that age, I just want to skip that student and go to the next student. So let us say I want to calculate the average age of all high schoolers. I don't want to include any other type of student. So if that is the situation, then what I would say is, if age is greater than 21, I will, when I say continue, okay, what happens is automatically the program execution goes back to line number 10. So it will keep going as long as the age is greater than 21. It will keep continuing. So let me just demonstrate that. So unless it is age 18, it will continue 3 times. Okay, so if age 18 is good, if I enter for 54, it will skip that age and then it will take this 18. Okay, average student age is 12. Because what happened here is, it is dividing 18 plus 18 is 36, dividing by 3 students and saying the age is 12. Okay, so what happened is, it skipped this logic. It skipped all of the logic below the continue statement. On the other hand, when we use a break, only if total age is equal to 100, at that point it terminates the loop. So that's the difference. Okay, I hope you find this video helpful. This is called Demo Week 4. The code's available for you on myrepol.com. Happy coding!